Hi guys, and welcome to episode 10 of my journey through Kanto recaps. This is a recap story of my tabletop RPG games with Pokémon that I'm playing every other Friday at Spelens Hus here in Malmo. And last off was we have just entered to the city, and day after that, Rain took and went to the gym, which turned out to be a part museum and part gym, almost like Rustbury City in Hoenn. And he was asking about openings for the gym challenge, which they had figured out the night when they arrived that you needed to beat a challenge before you can face the gym leader. Sorry. Turnabout, there was 2 days before next opening was available, and it was a cooking challenge. Very interesting indeed. But as I said last episode, I thought it was a fitting thanks to like the first gym leader we ever knew in Pewter City was Brock, and Brock was also a Pokemon breeder that loves cooking and did all the cooking in the anime until he was replaced by other trainers. So Rain went and talked to the others, and they signed up for that as well, because you could be a bunch of people in the challenge. Then, if you succeeded, you could face the gym leader. I forget her name though. But first of all, I misheard my GM, because I heard in my case, like I heard he said ground type, but apparently he said rock. So I misheard it until last night. So I was prepping for something, but I did still manage to prep right. In FYI, like I had Savika, which is good against rock and ground type Pokemon, so it was not too concerning. But yeah, as more of a part of the last time, with Max and Rain, Rain is my character, and Max was in character from another player. We both failed, and the guy that plays Go succeeded. Unfortunately, yet again, our player that plays Sydney, the only girl in our group, and both outside game and inside game, funny enough, could not make it that session, and she could not make this session again thanks to work schedule being a bit off. She tried to fix it. Unfortunately, no one could take her shift. She's gonna try to fix it to next week. Hopefully we can get her back, because she is a lovely person and we have all fun, because she plays Sydney very funny. Bit of an airhead, Sydney, but lovable nonetheless. Then again, any of you guys that watch animes and stuff like that, you know airhead personality always brings so much joy to any anime. At least in my opinion. So I kind of love having an airhead around. In real life, mostly times I'm the airhead, but I think, oh, that's maybe that click, because I'm usually the one that's being portrayed as the airhead in real life. But back to the story, and now to the present day. But unfortunately, technically during this session, Tuva, who plays Sydney, was fortunately couldn't make it, but also the guy named Eric, who also plays Go, he couldn't make it either today, so we didn't have that gym battle. We're gonna have to be redoing that day for him in a couple of days after that, in case he doesn't win that battle. But that's okay. We are ready for something. Like this, that's stuff that happens in tabletop RPG. Sometimes you don't make it. You have to and if you can, you redo those days, just like a flashback a bit. I was like, okay, do the battle first, then the other 4 days. Just a recap for him and how Go would have done with those days, and what is it? Sydney comes back next time we play, and she has 14 days with Sydney to kind of recap with that's just gonna happen. So, as essentially, since both Max and Rain failed, we could not face the gym leader, but we were allowed to take the challenge again the next day, which we chose to do. And this time, instead of just splitting up and not setting a timer to be back to the gym for the cooking challenge, we decided to team up. Max was looking for half of the berries we would need to face, or fruit what we can find outside, and Rain took the other. Both took the timer for half an hour to meet up, try to search, find, and stuff like that. And we did pretty good in the rolls to gather the berries. Rain did a bit better than Max, but we both meant better to split and then give each other the necessary half to start cooking. And then cooking began, first making a cake. Fortunately, Max tried to give orders to his Charmander, which is nicknamed Flame, but unfortunately, they still got a bit burned. The cake got a bit burned. Ray managed to really coordinate with his crocodile named Civica, and so making cake went almost really good, pretty darn good, I would say. Then we came to glazing and decorating cake, basically. And between these two sessions, we had streamlined the cooking challenge a bit, because we fell out too many dice rolls and stuff like that. So we kind of streamlined it a bit to make it less rolls, but it's still the same concept, just less rolls with the dice. So basically, decorating and glazing was the same roll, which frankly was good. But again, here was where Max did pretty good. His glazing was good. Was just enough that you couldn't see the burn until you split the cake. The glazing and topping was covering it pretty well. Rain, on the other hand, he realized after the second try that he has really trouble with glazing. He tried the same strategy, but he used a better move, because we could use our Pokemon to help us. And first time I did this, I had Jinx, my Alolan Vulpix, try to use powder snow to cool the liquid, so it'd be easier to stir and make it more thicker. That failed. So this time I tried to use freeze dry, which is a bit more powerful in the coolness department, but not full blast, because I don't want it to become ding 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 a popsicle. You don't want to glaze as popsicle, but it didn't work that either. I would say slightly better than the first one, because it was a better move, but the decoration glazing was a bit minus. But Rain still managed to just get enough points to up. I think actually I got one more point that I needed to succeed. So the cake's making was saved me, basically. Max failed for the second time, so he had to redo it. And again, he can redo it next day. But if he failed that time, he needed to wait a couple of days before he could do it again, which is fair. You get free shot, and I think there's a 5 days waiting period before you can do it again. And Rain now got an option to choose when he wanted to face the gym leader. And since he's going for his second batch, it's 2 versus 2 Pokemon. Basically, both trainer has 2 Pokemon and send one out and can switch, or you wait till your first Pokemon faint and send out the other one. So he was thinking, so at first he said, is it opening in 3 days from now? It wasn't. It was from 2 days or 4 days. So he chose it 4 days from now to have his gym battle. Now, why he chose 4 days when both Rain, Max, Go, and Cindy has a time schedule to try to get a minimum of 2 badges into Vermilion with roughly 20 days left to do it. I think when in the end of the session we have 20 days left to go to Vermilion and register for a special tournament. But Rain realized like early on the way to Pewter City, and after like mishearding which type he wanted, then realized, oh no, it's a rock type gym, that he only has one good Pokemon right now that could face her Pokemon head on, and one he has, but it's not old enough to battle. In the mechanics game, we decided after Jinx hatched from the egg, she had to spend 5 in-game days before she could battle. And she had 2 more days to spend, of course. So that's why I first said 3 races, so she was ready, but I'll get an extra day. So what I kind of was doing here, I was making her to go full days with like before she could be ready. Then I used a care day to grow some friendship points with her. So she had 2 friendship points already, and when you do a care day, you normally get 3. But since I have a grooming kit, it means I get an extra 1, so I get 4. So she had 6 friendship points when we entered the gym, and the rest of them tried to boost Vika's XP. I trained her a bit. During this time, Max had his 3rd try and succeeded this time. He managed to do it right, both cake and the glazing. Like, it was not amazing, but it was good. What I remember, the roll can be better. I think it was good, but it's not great. That's what I remember. So we now both had the same day, because he also felt like he needed to train his Pokemon a bit. But unfortunately for Max, he had basically the same problem that Rain had in the beginning of this. That he only had 1 Pokemon that's good against its gym, and 2 that are not. To recap Max's team, he has his starter, which is Charmander, that can't learn Metaclaw, thanks to using Sun and Moon moveset on the Pokemon. So no Metaclaw because he didn't have an egg move. So what Charmander has is, I think, is Scratch, Growl, Ember, and Dragon Rage. And sure, like Ember is resisted, Dragon Rage is not, but it only does set number of wounds, which is not a move you want to spam too early. Frankly, you want to use that later on if you can, at least in my eyes, because then you know it's a set damage. So if it hits, it will do that damage. Especially if you're facing their ace Pokemon. If you know you need this much wounds, you can start spamming then, because you also have lower PP in this version of the Pokemon game. I mean, the highest I have seen so far is 8 PP. 8 to 7 is the highest PP you can have. Oh, need to fix that later. So, and then he has a shiny Spearow. Again, not good against rock or ground type, especially on rock. So he tried to prepare as much as he can, but yeah, he I let Max go first because he struggled the most with the cooking. So he wanted to be fair, let Max go first. And Max sent out, he used Spearow and his last Pokemon, which is an Oddish, which he cast 2 sessions ago. Or one session ago. Which means I hadn't had enough training with them, so technically, like, not good in a rank department, but still, that is the only effective one he has. And he went with Spearow first, just to try to whittle a bit down, I would suppose. So what happened is he started with a Leer, which successfully hit, so there's a -2 to defense. Then he tried. Then Geodude tried, I think it was Rock Throw Smackdown first, failed. Then here comes the sad part. Spearow doesn't have any range move. All his are single target contact moves, which is Peck and Pursuit. So he had to fly close enough to Geodude. He tried Peck. I think the first one misses. Then he tried to Rock Throw. Hits, hurts pretty bad. Peck again, hits, but resistance bad, also doesn't do enough damage. He starts roll out, and that hits. And I was like, now in crowd, I try to help, which in mechanically crowd can cheer the trainers on. We have a cheer that lets you add a +1 depending and in many as the trainers are cheer on the challenger or the gym leader. Then we have Go Get 'em, that means a +1 to attacks rolls. Look Out, +1 to defense rolls. Hang in there, it removes 1 wound. I Believe in You, which removes 3 wounds. With that is a limit things, and you have 3 points of crowd points to spend. Because you spend a crowd action to not do nothing, but that is mostly to regain something. So I've tried to do the smartest thing I could possibly here. Mostly with defense and then with attack 1 or twice. He tried Pursuit, hit, which was lucky, but unfortunately, so that's neutral hit. So that's all the damage he needs, but it's not stab move and stuff like that. So there's 2 wounds, and then rollouts continue. This one hit, so that's hard damage, unfortunately. And I think he then misses the second peck, but he flies up enough so that Geodude can hit them with rollout, which works. Then he tries to, I think he just tries to stay up there, and then Geodude just Rock Throw, hits, knock out. Then he sends out his Oddish, which he starts with Acid. He hits. Double resistance. So it doesn't do much, but do manage to lower HP in defense, which is a good thing. Generally, it's a good thing, but unfortunately, Oddish only has special moves. So there was a wrong defense stat. It was lowered, and HP stats only care about. Sorry, I'm just gonna light up so I have better lighting to my face. So yeah, he only has special moves, so with lowering defense doesn't really help here. And I'm still trying to get the crowd going, but at this time I needed to save up for something, and which I tried to do. And even I think his absorb missed, fortunately, and then he managed to do 1, 2, I think 3 rollouts here, and it unfortunately got knocked down. And he had some friendship points to spend to reduce the damage, but he was already damaged enough that Max, or Alex as the player's name in real life, realized like, even if I do this and survive and maybe win, I still need to contend with her second Pokemon, which we don't know which that could be. And then I have no friendship point to save my Pokemon to survive a hit. So he decided to let both Irish and Spear faint. He lost the battle. Then it was Rain's turn. And he starts up by debuting Jinx's first battle at the gym. And he faced a Geodude. Am I lucky? And now here's what the fun part is. I first tried to do a Baby Doll Eyes. Missed. He tries to do a Rock Throw. Miss. Freeze Dry. Hit. Do not freeze. Then he does a Magnitude. No, I actually faced a Graveler. Not you do, a Graveler. Magnitude. Hits. Does 3 damage. Then I try to do a Freeze Try again. Misses. He damaged me again. So now I have roughly 2 major wounds. And he tried to do a Rock Tomb. When I failed another Baby Doll Eyes. I absorbed that with friendship points. So that's why I raised my friendship point to 6 points, so I could reduce damage twice, which is good. I hit a second Freeze Dry, and since that's not the ace, that's 10 damage. 10 wounds, and the maximum wound you can take before you faint is 9. So first time she fights is against a Graveler and she wins. Then comes Onyx. Yeah, a bit more than half-meter tall fox gonna face an 8.8 meter tall rock snake. And in my head, I do know that Onyx has great defensive stats. Terrible attack stat, but great defense. But I wanted to know which die type his defense was, since I want to see what we roll. So I used my priority move, Ice Shard. Now I roll a d6 for my attack stat. Both my special and my physical attack, which Ice Shard is physical. So Onyx uses his physical defense, which is a d20. I did manage to roll high, but not high enough. So I sure didn't do enough. I think he starts with Rock 2, but fails. Or no, like he hit, but I'm using my last 2 of my 3 points. No, that move will fail. Man, it's been a. I did it yesterday. I already somewhat forgot the moves. Already, I managed to start like writing down the moves that comes along. So I need to have a notebook with me every time I do battle, or anyone's do battle, so I know exactly what happened. Can I look at a book while I'm talking to you guys? Whatever. Then Onyx rolls, gets to Jinx because Jinx did the smart thing and always step backwards, so she tried Baby Doll Eyes, didn't work. Then Onyx hits Jinx with Bind. And he rolled for that to be 5 turns. Which means right now, Onyx can't do anything. He needs to focus on Bind for 5 turns. Unless the trainer orders Onyx to release the binding. I think that you can do it in this game. In other games you can't. Bind is just till. But also Jinx can't. I can't switch Pokemon. I can't retreat. I can't move. I'm there for 5 turns as well, taking constant standard damage all the time. And I think that was what I rocked him, but I managed to like enough so I knew with friendship. I have 1 more friendship point on Jinx. But I took enough off that so I knew I could survive 5 rounds with that. And I try a freeze try. I think I succeed once. And then next time I can freeze. And then I was I think it was 1, 2, then I was out of it, so I started to use Powder Slam. 1 hit. Less damage, but still damage. So right now I have 9 damage on Onyx, but Onyx is an ace Pokemon. And with an ace Pokemon in a gym challenge in this game means they can take 12 wounds. And keep going. Max helped me with hang in there, so I 1 move was removed, so more I could succeed at binding. Power Snow again, doesn't work. I kept missing with Power Snow. And then when it was released, I tried 1 last Baby Doll Eyes, didn't work. He hits me with a Rock Tomb. I go down. But still, being just alive enough to be able to battle in the first battle, not only beating a Graveler, but almost beating an Onyx in debut battle, that is awesome in any version of Pokemon games you can ever have. You know, it's a tabletop RPG games, like the main series games, side games. You can do that with a new, like brand new hash Pokemon. That is awesome. That's so awesome. Even in anime, that would be considered truly impressive work for a Pokemon child, basically. So, I send out Sevika, which unfortunately is still slower than Onyx. So Onyx goes first. Tries a Rock Throw. Do not. I just use 3 points. My free friendship to ignore the damage. Which plays like she just headbutts the rocks and it breaks. And then you just look up. And I have been smart to use my ability as a breeder to boost her special attack stat. which means I roll both my Pokemon special attacks die, which is a D4, not the best, and my own education die. So I roll 2 dice, then add Civika's rank to this, which is nice, which is +2. Then I had, I think Max went with Go Get It, so it's extra +1. And yes, I hit. Comes in, ignores a move, and I had played this with, like, when I threw out Civika, I'm just telling her, Jinx did awesome! Almost beat him! Show them now how the queen does it. She listen, looks at this big ass snake of rock, and just I roleplayed at Civika, just basically side spit her water gun at Onyx, hits, and Onyx faints. But like, you lost to a shot. You ain't worth my time. Puh. And there we go. I got $10,000 for winning my second batch. I also got the Boulder badge, of course, which is the Pewter City Gym badge. I got TM for Stone Edge. Pretty awesome. Stone Edge is a great move if you're hit with it. It's awesome. None of my Pokemon can learn it though, but hey. Future problems, right? And then after that battle, we went to the gym, the Pokemon Center. I think Max started to like study and then try to figure out a plan. Rain went with, he wanted now to check in with the breeding farmers he has been contacting regarding trying to get some Pokemon eggs from them. And we went through the outside game, what it would cost, and stuff like that. And roughly what, in a way, in the price range will be $10,000 for each egg. If you want to adopt a Pokemon, it will be less, since I don't really have too much requirement of it. That was just Niran, male, adamant nature. Didn't care about size too much. Technically I was, but I felt like I forgot it at that time. So, but then again, if I want them bigger, like if I can get enough money, like winning a next batch, or going far enough in this tournament that are coming up in a couple of sessions, I can buy growth hormones. Now, I know it sounds bad, but like this is a game, this is fun. It's like that, like if I feed one, it's almost like a vitamin things. So technically, yeah, you feed a Pokemon that for a week, they grow one size, which is fun, just fun enough. I mean, I already got an alpha crocodile. Like, why not have another alpha on my team? They'll get expensive with food, I would say. Like that's the downside of it. The food price is gonna go up. But the farther you get into the game, like less trouble you will have with that. And if I can get far enough in this game, like that would be a small detail, very small detail. And I think Alex replaced Max. I think he said it like outside game, but he could also said it inside game. They're like, oh, yes, you're gonna leave now? Like, we can't follow you because Sydney hadn't gone. Go, we don't know if he won his battle or not, but Max has not won his battle, so he doesn't have money to travel. Which technically, like, Rain has his money, so he can go. But also, like, Rain's also thinking about this because, in a sense, we did all that and we checked all the pharmacies, like contact. Since the egg was probably not reachable, so okay, adopted. He was like very what he wanted, which like with the Nidoran, he didn't really care if it was a girl. Like he mostly wanted a male Nidoran, but if you got a female one, that's okay. But he wanted them to have an adamant nature. He didn't really care about egg moves with them. So that was something. Okay, then he wanted a female Cantonio Vulpix and a female Growlithe. And when some talking, a couple of hours into that, in game basically, there was no Vulpix. They only had male Growlithe, but there was one in near Vermilion or inside Vermilion that had adamant male Nidoran. Ray made some reservations, so he has 15 days to get there. Otherwise, he's going back out to the adoption auction house, basically. Like when people want to adopt Pokemon, which is that's a nice thing. Like people that couldn't really take care of the Pokemon, gave it to like a breeder or stuff like that, could find a person that had enough time, resources to train or raise a Pokemon, which is always that's a nice thing. So Reservation was like, okay, I can really get the eggs, so I can really utilize my Outworld gift as a breeder. But well, at least I can get part of the step of raising one from the ground up, basically. So now Rain is thinking as well. Okay, I need to get there, but also I need the tournament is in Vermilion, so I can go there, register myself, then can maybe focus on training a couple of my Pokemon, try to get out of Pokemon, try to find where Vulpix and Growlithe spawns. Maybe if I have time, even try to go to the Saffron gym, or maybe in the Vermilion gym, try to fight that with more money in another batch just before the tournament. But mostly where Vulpix and Growlithe are living, then do specific tracking for a female Vulpix and a female Growlithe. So we ended that session, so we didn't get too much far ahead for the other players to catch up, basically. And hopefully, Go will, Eric that plays Go will be back next session. So we see how his gym fight did, or what he did the other days. Then Sydney do her recap if she comes back. Hopefully, or we have to do a discussion. So if she cannot change her work schedule, maybe unfortunately she has to leave the group, which is sad because she's like I said, she's a wonderful person. She's a fun player to have around. So, but if work schedule is making her not be able to come to our sessions, it's not really worth it to to try and so then you have to face that because work always comes first. You have to work to be able to have fun later. So hopefully the schedule things are fixed in 2 weeks from now. Otherwise, well, that's a discussion for that time. But I'm still hopeful that she can fix it so we can have fun times with Sydney and have great laughs. And that's a recap for today, guys. So as always, if you like this video and want to see more of me, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell either so you know when I put out more videos. And until then, guys, have a great evening and a great Sunday tomorrow, and I'll see you all guys in the next video. Bye.